I'm John Walton. I'm a professor of Old Testament at Wheaton College, and my specialty is understanding the Old Testament against the background of the ancient Near East. In the ancient world, they believed that a name was the first step toward decreeing someone's destiny, giving them an identity and a direction, kind of starting them off on the right foot. Sometimes we find that people's names were changed, sometimes for the better, as we have Abram turn to Abraham and Jacob turn to Israel, sometimes as an act of control when Nebuchadnezzar changes the names of Daniel and his friends. Sometimes also names are chosen in order for other people to reflect on what you're like. We see this when Esau says to his father, isn't he rightly named Jacob because he's cheated me these 2 times? And that has a sound similarity to the name Jacob. So they named children based on something in the context or something for the future and the identity of that child. And in the literature of the Bible, sometimes names are given in order to capture that. And so even Adam and Eve, they're Hebrew names, and Hebrew didn't exist in the time prior to Moses. And so they wouldn't have had Hebrew names. So those are clearly names that have been given to them by Israelites. And so names have significance both in that context and as other people look at those people. When we go back and try to interpret the names, we have to be careful how far we push it. Sometimes the Bible gives us meaning that was attached to a name. And then, of course, that's something that we can be aware of and we can use. If we try to attach meaning to a name that isn't evident in the text or its description, then we're kind of imposing our intuition on the text, and our intuition isn't always reliable in an ancient world. So you take someone like Enoch, and his name means dedicated. Well, that could talk about the way that he was dedicated to God. But we've also got an Enoch in the other line, in Cain's line. Was he dedicated to something else? We don't know. We really can't say the context of that. So to try to take those names and say, oh, he was dedicated to evil. Well, we don't know that. We have no way of telling that. So we have to be careful when we cross that line between reading what the text has told us about the name or the naming, and then us trying to interpret that into something larger that may only be our own imagination.